$2,400 annually for 4 D3 coaches to contact you.
I mean, unless you're trying to go D3, I guess that's a good deal, but come on. Alright, so let's go over what a recruiting service is in the first place. So a recruiting service is usually online profiles where coaches can see your height, weight, and how fast you run, shooting percentage, etc. So these recruiting services basically lead players into their services by showing them that they can get D1 coaches, they can go to Florida State or whatever. And basically how they do this is by calling you and saying that you're gonna be the best player ever, and that we need to have you on this service, and coaches are gonna love you, and you're gonna be this huge star, but you ain't. It's not gonna happen. I mean, so I basically went through this process too, where I called them, and he was like going through my stats. He was like, okay, so you scored 2 points per game on the freshman team, and I averaged like 1 rebound. He was like, okay, you're gonna be good. And then later on, like a year later, I was like, wait a second, I averaged 2 points on the freshman team. How the fuck would I even be acceptable for this? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. They're trying to make a profit off of anybody's recruiting service profile and paying for it, I guess. So number one, you'll probably get looked at from coaches from different states that you don't even know about. Like from fucking Virginia, and you live in Florida. Like you're not gonna email coaches from Virginia. You're gonna email coaches from Florida. So apparently some of them monitor your social media to see if you post anything, and like they'll give you tips about social media and how to promote yourself or whatever. Yeah, but that's about it from the advantages. I mean, shit. Now let's talk about the disadvantages, and there's a lot. So when you have a profile on like a page, it's hard to stand out from other people when they don't even see how you play. All you guys, your height, your weight, how many points you score, like it's very hard to stand apart from everybody else when everybody else is pretty much the same. And probably one of the biggest problems, is that not every coach uses these services. So most coaches have to pay to get in these services to find players, and not every coach is gonna fucking pay for a dumb service to find players when they could just go outside and go to their gym and see if a player is nice. Actually find players. So coaches usually find players through email. Email is probably the best way to get coaches' attention, because you're inboxing into their email. They're gonna look at their old. They check their email a lot. It's way easier to get a coach to respond and read your message. Coaches also find players through AAU games, word of mouth, whatever, and social media. Social media is really important. Usually Twitter. A lot of coaches are on Twitter. They're old. They use Twitter. A good email will get a coach like you. That's the basics of it. You gotta send an intriguing email that sparks an interest, like, oh, okay. Coaches also find players through AAU games, word of mouth, whatever, and social media. Social media is really important. Usually Twitter. A lot of coaches are on Twitter. They're old. They use Twitter. A good email will get a coach like you. That's the basics of it. You gotta send an intriguing email that sparks an interest, like, oh, okay. I mean, when it comes to these services, you gotta look at objective reviews. You gotta look at the shit that really matters, what people are actually saying about it, and not just some made up things that they put on their page, like, oh, this is the best service I ever used. I went to Florida State for this. Like, no. Like, you gotta actually look at real reviews from real people that have done it and know what it's about. Right. Personally, I've done a service before. I paid like $80 a month for like 4 months, and I have got nothing out of it. You really got to pay attention to who targets these programs and what's really good out there. I mean, personally, for me, the best thing that I have ever done for recruiting using emails. I've gotten dozens of coaches to respond to me through intriguing emails that I sent to them that sparked their interest. It was like a catchy title, like, oh, best coach in Southwest Florida. Like, that shit really intrigues them, and they click on that, and then they respond if they're nice enough. I mean, I sent a video with it, all that, sent all my info, and I got dozens of responses because I targeted where they're at. Not all coaches are at recruiting services paying money to see players that they don't even know if they're good or not. So you really gotta pick your poison and see where the gold is at, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, if you guys want more videos like this, just comment. I'll check it out. And I'll see y'all. Peace.